Hola YouTube, my name is Ricardo Lino and I'm a wheel addict. Welcome to another live stream of this channel. I don't even know exactly what to say about what we're going to do today. I can only tell you that I'm very, very excited. But before I even present you to my guest, I'm going to ask you guys to please let me know about the sound. Is it okay? It's not. Please give me feedback. Your feedback is going to be important so that we can adjust it in a way that everyone can have a good experience while watching this. It's late at night for me. It's late at night for my guest, but we tried to make it at this time so that more people from all over the world could come with us. So I hope you guys enjoy this one. Now let me just go through the comments real quick because we got, just so that you guys know, at any moment I can bring your comments. Your comments can just come into the screen at any moment. So if this is the first time you're watching a live stream, you know that you can participate, you can make questions to my guest, which is going to be our guest, because you are going to be with me on this one. This is actually live on Facebook and YouTube. I would obviously prefer that you guys are on YouTube because that's where I invest most of my time, but it doesn't really matter. Whatever you are, if you can share this, whatever you're watching this, if you can share this, we really appreciate it. The more people can come and watch this online, the better it is for us. We have a mission with this video. We hope we get to this mission. So we have a couple of people just saying that the sound is good. So now you know you can participate in this. So now I'm going to present you guys to my guest, and I'm going to be super honest when I tell you that I do not know a lot about Sam, but you will know, you will meet Sam with me. So ladies and gentlemen, darling Sam. How are you doing, Sam? Wait. Sorry, Sam. Now I can hear you. I'm sorry. We had a little bit of a problem. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm doing good.
Let me just bring them here. So for everyone watching this, let me just explain you a little bit of the process that happened until here. So Sam is someone that I saw through Instagram and Facebook since, I would say, maybe for 2 years now, and is someone that every now and then would send me a message and we would speak a little bit, not very deep into our conversations. But about 2 months ago, my wife Janice was like, you should really look into what Sam is doing, because what he's doing, it's really amazing. And the truth is, I've been so busy with so many things that sometimes I don't have the time to look into stuff, and I'm just amazed with what Sam is doing. So today, over the last 2 weeks, we spoke a little bit to organize these. Today we tried to organize how we were going to do it, and Sam had to go to an internet cafe because the connection wasn't stable enough. So hopefully everything is going to work, so bear with us. Sam, I'm going to let you talk because this is about you, not about me. So I want you to introduce yourself. Is that okay? Let's do it.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah. So my name is Sam.
Sam, are you there?
Can you hear me?
Okay, yes, we can hear you. I think the connection might not be the best for some reason, but you were telling me today that you were very nervous. I'm gonna let you talk. I'll just go ahead and just basically, I'm going to make a couple of questions. Every time that I make a question, well, I'll let you go. So how old is darling Sam? Where exactly do you live? And for how long have you been skating?
Okay, so I'm 23 years. I turned 23 in March, and I've been skating for the past 5 years. Just turned 5 years this February. Yeah.
And how old are you at the moment? Sorry, and you live in? Sorry.
I'm 23. I live in Accra, Ghana.
Okay. I think we're having a little bit of a problem with the internet, which was better. So I'm going to ask you, Sam, if you can, if it's possible, just to switch it off and to come back on, because it was okay previously. So maybe if you can just leave the conversation and come back on to this link, then we can keep going. Is that okay? So that we can get the best quality we can.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay.
So I'll be here while Sam is leaving, and Sam is going to come back. As I was saying, it was very hard for us to organize this because Sam was planning on using his data, but the data in Ghana wasn't, his internet connection wasn't fast enough, so that's why it needs to be in internet cafe. So we hopefully are going to make this work. We were making it work actually earlier, but probably more people is using the internet. So let's see how this is going. If anyone has any question, okay, so Sam is here. If anyone has any question, please let me know. And we got Sam back. Let's see. Let's hope everything is okay. I still don't see him. Sam, you're back. Now you're good. You good? Can you hear us?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. I think the problem is that there might be a lot of people there. Anyway, doesn't matter. I'm going to let you talk and we will wait for you to finish every time there's a question. So how did you got into skating and why skating in Ghana? How did you find out about skating?
No, just the usual way everyone finds out. I met a group of guys one Sunday afternoon, and that was it. I just loved what they were doing. And I just thought, why not give it a try? You know? And so from there, I just kept on going and going. And that's how it's been.
And how big is skating? Is there a lot of skaters in Ghana? Because how did you find out about, like you said that you saw a group of guys? Was it a small group? Was it a big group of guys? I have no idea, honestly.
Yeah, a very small group, a very small group of guys. That's about 7 guys, just 7. And then they had this massive crowd watching. And so I just thought, why not try this? You know, if I can get all this crowd watching me do something so cool, you know.
So,
and then that's how it got started.
I don't know. Okay, so I wrote in the description of this video that I know a little bit about, not a little bit, but I know about another part of Africa. I used to live in South Africa for 5 years. I used to go very regularly to Angola. And even from Angola to South Africa, it's 2 completely different realities. And I know that, as an example, in South Africa, I have a skate shop, and it might be hard to get some of the brands, but in general, it's not too hard to get skates. On the other hand, in Angola, it's a different game. For people to get skates at the moment, especially, they need to get donations, or they need to get to markets and to get used skates. Do you have any skate shop or any place where you can buy skates in Ghana?
Where I live, we don't have any skate shop. There are no skate shops here. No shops, no parks. So the only way you get skates is on the market. Like, you know, they call it garage sales. That's the only way you get skates. And then for a few of us who are lucky to be in the game for long, you know, we get skates donated to us, and that keeps us going. But generally, it's very difficult to come by skates. No. It's challenging.
Okay, so no shops. Most of the times you get used skates. Is that it? Because in the markets you don't buy new skates, right? Let me make you another question. Yeah. Just for people watching these to have an idea. Again, I don't know about Ghana. I do know about other regions in Africa, but what would be a regular salary in Ghana and how much would a pair of skates, if you buy a new pair of skates, like as an example, let's say a USD-AN. I know that you have a pair of new USD-ANs. If you want to buy a pair of USD-ANs, how much would it cost? And how much is like the normal salary?
If you want to buy a new pair of USD AONs, which I was told, I found out then it was around 245 US dollars. 245 US dollars is almost close to 2,500 Ghana cedis. And that's a lot of money. So for an average worker whose salary is around, let's say 350 cedis or 400, you should be working across 6-7 months, and putting your whole salary away to get a brand new pair.
Oh, wow. So people would need to work for 8 months straight,
so,
no food, no sleeping, no house, just to buy a pair of USD-ANs.
Yeah, just to buy a pair of skates, yeah.
Wow. But now, let's talk about something good. We will get back into the same thing that we were talking now. We will talk about it a little bit further in this conversation. But somehow, in the middle of being hard to get skates, you guys still get skates. You buy the skates on the market and all that. But you also have ramps now. Is that it? Do you have a ramp now?
Yeah, we have one ramp. We have one mini ramp that was built for us by a recreational center. It's actually a new recreational center that was built. And lucky for me, when it was
I didn't
built,
understand. Sorry, I didn't understand. Who built the ramp?
Okay.
Who built the
ramp? The
ramp?
ramp was built by a recreational center. A new recreational center,
Okay. And you can keep going. I just didn't understood the first part. I'm sorry about that.
Okay. So the ramp was built by a recreational center, and lucky enough, when they were launching the recreational center, they wanted to put in a lot of events. And so in the process of putting in a lot of events, I met the guy. By then I was working with Decathlon. So I met this guy, and then he says, oh, he's got this and this going on, and that they are launching their recreational center. And so it would be nice to come and have a look at it since I skate. So I got there. It was nice. We skated like the whole day, most of the time. For a couple of weeks, like 6 weeks, we skated every weekend. And then, there was just a huge, big space. The only obstacles there were used wheels, car wheels, car tires that are used. And so I was like, okay, since you guys are building a recreational center and it's a new place and you need more people coming in, why not build a half pipe? And so I kept on pushing the half pipe idea for so long. So in the second year, on one of the random days, the guy phoned me and was like, Sam, am I available this weekend? I said, yeah, I'm available. He said, oh, they built something, so let me come check it out. So I asked him to send me photos of what they built. He didn't send me any photos. So he asked me to come by and check it out. So I went there that day, and then it was the half pipe. So actually, I was the first person that uncovered the whole thing because it was covered. I uncovered it. I wasn't so good at it. What I'm used to is just the quarter pipe, one side. We have that at one part of town, so I'm used to that one. And so I got into the half pipe. It was hard. Most people that watch my video, they keep asking me, what are those ties around the half pipe for? And I'm like, those ties are for me. Because I fell, over from the top of the ramp several times because there is no fence. So I kept falling over. That's why we have all those ties around. And then eventually I got used to it. Even the new boys, they still fall over. So you ask anyone why those ties are there, they will tell you it saves. It saves.
Let me bring something in.
The ramp built.
Let me bring something in because I think it might be interesting. Was this your first day?
Yes.
I think that might be interesting
Yeah, that
because
was my first day, like
from
my first day on the mini ramp.
it was your.
You know,
Did you ever skate at a skate park before this day?
it was my first day. No, I've never
Wow.
skated at any skate park. No skate park. There are no parks around here. We just have, little groups of people in various parts of the city, and they are skating. And
And tell
so,
me, was this also in the first day?
yeah, basically, this this wasn't the first day. This was, I think, the third time I went. This was the third time. The first day I went, I was in black, and I fell over like several times because I didn't know how to just get on the coping and then get back in. I always flew across board to the other end. But
And now let me just,
if
for
I
the
have to
people
be teaching
watching this at
someone else, I
home,
have to be good at it. So,
for the people watching this at home, I'm going to need to show them another one of your tricks that it still amazes me every time I watch it.
yeah, the 50 backflip.
That's, I need to be
Yeah.
honest with you. It's been one of those tricks, not anymore. There was a time that I really, 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 really wanted to learn it. And I could never do it. So I'm going to need to ask you for advice. How did you learn that? Like, because a lot of people that learn these type of tricks, a lot of people that learn this type of tricks, they will go to certain places and all that, but you don't have that type of facilities. So the question here is, how?
Yeah.
How did you learn that trick?
How? Growing up where I live is very tough. So you end up learning a lot of stuff growing up. And there's a saying, what you learn growing up, you got it for life. And so the backflip is one of those things I learned growing up. And so getting on skates, it wasn't so hard doing it on skates. No. So I learned it on foot. I'm pretty good at it on foot. I can backflip anywhere, anytime on foot. But then on skates, I think I saw a video of Florian, if I'm mentioning the name right. There's this France guy, he does free jump. He skates for FR. And then he did a backflip on skates one time. And I saw it and I was like, okay, since I can backflip and then I can skate pretty good, why not? Let me try it. So I took it slow, trying on the sand, and then taking it very slow on the concrete because there is nowhere I can go. There is no foam pit, there is no park, there's nothing. And this is the kind of trick where either you get it done or you break. Here you don't have so many chances at a new trick. So it's either you are doing it or you are getting hurt. So I had to take it very slow. Started by landing on my front wheels most of the time. And I broke like, 3 pairs of skates learning this until I got my power slide. The power slide was given to me. It was actually a gift from one of the parents. I teach a lot of kids. And so one of the parents that travels a lot, he just gifted me those. And the fortunate thing was we were the same size. So actually he bought it for himself. And then they were too heavy. And then he gave them to me. And so, it was a new skate and so
yeah.
And growing up here and not having access to all the good skates, there are certain brands out there. It's a dream. So for me, getting that power slide was like, okay, next level. Let me get this trick done. So it was up until last year. Yeah, I got my power slide around last year in June. That was when I landed the first fakie backflip because the skates were new and I was so hyped on it and I had to do something crazy. So that was how I got it done.
Yeah,
But it took a lot of work.
All over the
I was
world.
doing it several months before that. But I was after the skate side.
Sam, I was saying that
It was after
I
the
guess
skate
all
I got
over the
that.
world, all over the world, people even when it's a lot easier to get skates, people get very, very pumped, very, very juiced for getting new skates. So I can only imagine how exciting it is for you when it's so hard to get skates.
Yeah,
I know that you're now
yeah,
skating with some
yeah,
USDANs. How did you got the USDANs?
yeah. Okay. The story of this USD eons is pretty interesting. You know, a few months ago, that was around May, in May, I think the first week of May, I was doing this clip at the National Theatre. You know, the National Theatre is the only designated space we have to skate around the city. And so I went there, I got some clips done, you know, just the regular posting on Instagram. And then, you know, this girl hits me up in my DM like, yo, dude, you're cool. Where are you skating from? And I'm like, okay, you know, I'm skating from Accra, Ghana. And she's like, oh, you're skating from Africa. I've never met anyone from Africa before. And I'm like, oh, well, then here I am. You've met me. So what's up? So we got talking. And then I was teaching her tricks. I was teaching her to do tricks because, you know, she isn't so good, just, you know, the regular kind of skating. So I was teaching her to do 180s and then to do 360s. So she was like, she does aggressive skate. She's got aggressive. She's got some, I think, Razors. Is it Razors Loca or something? And it's anti-rocker. So she's got aggressive skate. So she was like, if I need to get proper roller blades, and she was referring to aggressive skates, how do I get them? And I was like, oh, you know, there's no shops around here. Even my skates were gifted to me. So it's gonna take me a miracle to get another skate. And then she was like, okay, since I'm helping her learn tricks and we keep talking, you know, she can hook me up with some skates. And that would just be spreading the love in a new way. And so I was like, okay, well, since I'm helping you want to give me skates, well, I don't have a choice. You know, there's room for more since it's hard to come by some. And so we kept on talking for a few weeks. And then one day I'm there. And then I go on Instagram, and in my DM, I see several links of several skate shops. She sends me from Roller Warehouse, from Local Skates, Grindhouse, you know, like 5 skate shops. And she's like, okay, you look through the shops and then you show me what you like, and then I'll get them for you. And like, I couldn't sleep. I couldn't sleep for like, you know, weeks. I couldn't sleep. I'm like, you know, what do I do? Because here is someone offering to buy me a pair of skates, and they're like, you pick what you want, you know, because we're living in different economies. And so I'm thinking, what if I pick something that's so expensive? And then I go back to my place, and then I'm like, no, if she sent me the links of 5 shops and asked me to choose what I want, it means she can afford it. Okay, so then let me just look for something. So, okay, I went online. Since I've never skated aggressive skates, I've never had aggressive skates. So I went online, I checked. I didn't find anything I could skate, because most of the aggressive skates I found were anti-rocker. And so the USD Eon I came across by chance. One of my friends in Australia added me to this group, International Aggressive Rollerbladers. And so someone posted it there. And then I saw it was a flat setup. I started reading on it, watching reviews. I even watched your reviews on it. And so coming from free skating and then wanting to get aggressive skates, and then USD being a flat skate, and all the reviews I saw on it, I was like, okay, let me pick those. So I sent her, I want those. Initially, I had picked the red and white. But then this is May, it was May this year, May, June. And then most shops around the world had run out of skates. And so there was no, I couldn't get red and white anywhere. But we got black, all black. And then I was like, okay, I don't have a choice. And if you watch all my videos before, I usually skate in black. So I thought, okay, stealth mode. Let me just get the black. And after, I don't have so much of a choice. Because, you know,
Sam,
these are skates you are getting for free. So why not just take the black? So
You know what's good?
I mean, she paid for the skate. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
go.
she paid
Sorry,
for
go
the
ahead.
skates, and then on the day she was going to, on the day she was going to send them, you know, we were all excited and all. And then she was like, "It's going to cost her 500 USD to send the skates down to me." And like she was so pissed. Like the skate is 247, and then it's going to cost her 500 to send to me. Like, you know, that we can't do that. There was no way. And so when I remember when I started running my events, I used to send shirts. I sent 5 pieces of t-shirts to a friend in London. And at DHL, I did some inquiries, and then I realized there is a way I could pay for the package here, and then it gets stamped here, and then she sends it. And so looking at the package, paying for the package in my currency, and then converting into dollars, you know, it's pretty cheap, very cheap actually. So that was what we did. So I told her that I went over to DHL. She sent me the money. I paid for the package here, and that was around 199. So we cut down the cost by almost $300 when I paid here, and then it was sent there, because you know when you make the currency changes, it's less. And so I got the
But
skates. We did that, and then I got the skates in about 1 week. Yeah, and then
but
in that week when I
that
got
it's
the
still
skates,
like, but just the cost is still like 2 or 3 times, no, like 4 or 5 salaries from just the shipping
yeah,
costs.
yeah, just the shipping cost, just the shipping cost. And so you can imagine how excited or how pumped I was to receive new skates. And then the
The
downside
good
was
thing,
when I and then when I got the skates, we were just entering into the rainy season, and so it rained like continuously for 4 weeks, so I couldn't get to skate them. So it was one of the days I went out. I went out with a friend. There's this friend, Twinchi, Kwabna Twinchi. He lives around. He usually films me. So we went to the city. He does more of aggressive skating. He's pretty good. He's been grinding, and you know. So we went there. He actually taught me the first few grinds, you know, front side, yeah, front side. And so I got that done. And then, you know, I'm so scared of grinding. I feel I'm at risk at grinding than doing other things. And so I took to doing hammers with my eons. So if you look at my first few days, I got those eons. I was doing a lot of big gaps. Yeah. And from there, you know, I grind once a while, but then I only grind when it comes to me, you know, when we are so pumped, then I'm like, okay, let's try a front side. And then I get it done and it's nice. And then we try to record it. Yeah. So that's how it's been. That's
okay.
how it's
So
been with the skate.
let me say something. The good thing is it's getting that type of skate that you got. It's actually for the idea that I have of Ghana, which is like rough roads and all that. Anti-rocker wouldn't last
Yeah.
you any time, especially when you go through wheels like you say that you go. Having a flat
Yeah.
skate is good, and also not having a flat skate that will
Yeah.
break frames and all that. So having a super solid skate like that is actually a very good option. Now
Yeah. It's
we've been
actually
talking
very
about
good.
skates. We've been talking about skates and all that, and I'm sorry that if sometimes I interrupt you, it's not because I want. It's like there's a little bit of a delay, and sometimes it seems like you stop talking, and that's when I'm going to ask something. And I'm sorry if I interrupt you for some reason. It's not because I'm
Yeah.
trying to cut you. You can talk as much as you want. And to everyone watching this, if it seems like I'm trying to cut you off, I'm sorry.
It's fine. It's
It's
fine.
not. So
It's
you
fine.
said
It's fine.
previously
Actually,
today, you you said previously in this conversation that you teach some skating lessons, right?
yeah.
To who are
Yeah.
you
I teach some
teaching
skate.
at the moment?
Yeah. Currently, I'm teaching private lessons. I get paid for teaching those private lessons. basically that's what I do. I've been teaching skating for the past 3 years. That's how I that's how I get my income, teaching skating. Private classes here and there. And then
Okay.
I also teach, aside the private classes, I also teach around the neighborhood. There is this school, because in my neighborhood there is no place, you won't get to skate anywhere. And so there is this school, we had like a school corridor space. And so we go there usually on the weekends, Saturday, Sunday, and it's the government school. We go there Saturday, Sunday, and then we go to skate. So skating there, we ended up getting a lot of crowd. So most of the kids come in, they just hang around. A few find the skates by themselves. You find kids having like 2 wheels on a skate, 2, 3 wheels on skates. It's funny. And so a few kids come around, and so they look up to who is the most skillful. And so it became like, okay, since the kids are looking up to you, why not you just teach them? So that's how teaching in the community began. And so I ended up every Saturday, Sunday, on the weekends, I have a lot of kids coming in. It got to a time I had like 30 kids coming in from various places across town. Wait, the skates are funny.
Wait. And now you get the skates for the 30 kids.
Like once in a while, you come across skates on the market. You come across like a sack of skates on the market, and then you go through them, and you have like kids skates, you have a few adult skates, and so you have to go back, put monies together, and then you come and buy them. And when you buy them, most of these skates, I'm telling you, they aren't working, and so you just have to give them out. And then you give them out to the kids. When you give it out to them, they feel, they are so excited. It's like they can't afford something, and then they are being given for free. The same excitement I get when I receive new skates. So you get these skates for them. And then there are points where you get these skates and like someone has 2 wheels, someone has 3 wheels. And so like we have to get 1 wheel from someone who has 4 wheels and then give to someone who has 2 wheels. So that's how we get going. That's how we get going. There are points where someone doesn't have a skate. So we find like a shell and then there are no wheels. Okay. So we come down to our meeting place on a Saturday, on a Sunday. Okay, you have 4 wheels. You bring one, you bring one, you bring one. We put them together and then we give 1 skate to a new person. That's how we get it going.
Sam,
that's for the local community, for my neighborhood. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So during the past 2 weeks, about 2-3 weeks, when Janice, my wife, started speaking a bit more with you about it, one of the reasons that got us really like, no, we really need to do this, it's because you spoke about something that it's very important, which is you were now talking about the kids, the hype. Sometimes you have 30 kids, but it doesn't seem like it's like that all the time. It seems like there's some times where the kids are a little bit less motivated. What do you think it's unmotivating them?
The reason for being less motivated is the main reason is the community, and then the way people think around here. So we have this thing where the older people feel we are wasting our time because all we are doing is to the community, and so they feel we are wasting our time. So there are points where we have parents coming in to our meeting place to come take their kids away. They come, they scold the kids that, what are you doing here? You are supposed to be at home. Get off from here. You're wasting your time doing this, that sort of thing. And so that also demotivates the kids. And then also kids come in, they break a frame, they lose a wheel. It takes like 1, 2, 3 months. They are not getting it. And so they can't come. They just stay at home. Because when they come, they wouldn't get skates. And they stay at home. So these are the challenges. These are the challenges. Usually, they lack skates, and then and also the pressure coming in from the older generation, like we are wasting our time, like you are supposed to be studying, like you're wasting your time. Who is skating in Ghana? Who is skating in Africa? Like basically you're wasting your time. It's new, they don't understand. And so that also demotivates us a lot. Me, I had that pressure starting in my first, second, third year. I had that pressure a lot from home. My parents didn't understand. I had to hide to go and skate up until, it's like, why not leave this kid? He's growing. He knows his left and right. This is Africa. You just leave him. Even though it's not like they've accepted the fact that, oh, you go ahead and do what you want. It's like they've said it several times. You are not listening. So, okay, let's see what comes out. You go ahead. So that's how it became for me. And that's how it is for me. And so most of the kids, that pressure from their parents, and you're a kid, when they come to beat you at the meeting place, in front of other kids, you find it harder to come the next time because, the humiliation with kids and all. And so there was a time where I had to be taking kids home one after the other. And then there are times where I take them out too. So like on Independence Day, I have to mobilize a few kids, like 10, 15 kids. I take them to the city to go skate. We come back late in the day and you have to take everyone home. So it goes to a time some of the parents feel like, okay, this guy brings our kids home. He's taking responsibility for our kids. Okay, then, okay, you can go because we know at the end of the day, someone is looking after you. But then one thing they also don't know, it's unofficial. It's like, I'm putting myself at risk doing this because you go out with these kids. I actually went out with the kids once and then 2 of them go missing. And that day we stayed out late till around 10 p.m. We were still in the city. We hadn't gotten home. And it takes us like 1 hour, 30 minutes to get home to the neighborhood. And then you have to take everyone home, It's a lot of work. So usually it's just the sacrifice, If you don't do it, nobody will do it. And because I'm skating and, I enjoy it a lot. And I don't want to be the only person doing it. And then I realized a lot of people are enjoying it. So why not push it to keep them in? If you want to be doing it for long, you have to be teaching the new generation. They are like the future. So when you are away,
Exactly.
they carry on. So that's the whole idea. That's the whole idea. So if you follow my page, I have a lot of kids more than older people, more than my age mates. I have a lot of kids.
Yeah, I see here. That's what we're
Because
watching right now. What's the
motivate the kids
DS?
than the older people.
Sam, what is the DS Roller Sports Academy?
DS Roller Sports Academy. Okay, so DS Roller Sports Academy was initially that was my private skate lessons. I used to work with Decathlon. When Decathlon first came to Ghana in 2018, I was one of the first skate instructors that were recruited, to teach skating as a way of marketing. So like we were sort of brand ambassadors for Decathlon skate brand. That was Oxelo. So we get what we call ambassador packages, and we get them at the end of 3 months. That was when I started working with Decathlon. So we were teaching the kids every Saturday morning, and like they use that as a marketing strategy. When parents come through the mall on Saturday morning, kids are skating, other kids want to buy, and so the parents buy for them. So I was teaching one of those lessons, and it was actually at Decathlon I learned, okay, I could make money teaching skating, because most of the parents will come like, oh, I can't make this. Can you come home? And then I'll be like, okay, if I come home, initially was if I come home, you have to take care of my transportation. It was just transportation. So as time go by, I met this lady. She is a fitness instructor. So she became like my manager. She became like my manager, my mentor kind of thing. So she was helping me like, okay, if you are to be doing private class, you should go about it this way, charge this way. So at the end of the day, I actually learned, okay, I could make money teaching how to skate. So I was running the skate classes for Decathlon on Saturday, and then on the week basis, I was doing the private lessons. So doing the private lessons, it was just me, one person. So I had to put some sort of a brand on it. So I looked on the internet, Facebook. Yeah, I looked on Facebook most of the time. And then I realized, okay, there are several skate groups, there are several small people are doing classes here and there, especially most of the skate classes I saw were in the Middle East. I mean, in the Asian countries like Malaysia. Yeah, mostly in Malaysia. I was following this skate club in Malaysia. So I got the idea, and then I did DS Roller Sports Academy. Initially, it wasn't DS Roller Sports Academy. It was in full. It was Darling Sam Roller Sports Academy. But then,
Okay, Sam.
when I started doing my skating event, yeah.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. So initially, it was Darling Sam Roller Sports Academy. So when I started doing my events, when I wanted to start my skate event, I was trying to look for sponsorship from this corporate environments, try go skate commercials for companies, just so I can, they get to see me support my events and all that. And then the feedbacks I was getting was like, Darling Sam is sounding a little bit of a kid's thing. And so most of the corporate environments wouldn't buy into that idea. Okay, so I said, okay, since Darling Sam was getting a lot more popular, why not just make it DS? Which will still mean Darling Sam, but then that sounds a little bit of a thing. And then my full name is Ahinataku Samuel Dela. I still have an S and a D. And so if you ask me what's the meaning of DS, I could still tell you that is Dela. And then that could still be Darling Sam. So I went along with DS. So that's how come I have DS Roller Sports Academy, what I have now. I still use that to do private lessons. And then
Awesome.
I use that also to do my events as well. Yeah.
Okay, tell me, approximately how many students do you have at the moment?
At the moment, currently, I have just one. Currently, it's just one student that I'm teaching on Mondays and Wednesdays. And then I have this other parents that will call you randomly, like, when are you free within the week? Because they are also not free within the week. And so when they check their time schedule and they realize, okay, they are free anytime within the week, they phone me like, okay, when are you free within the week? Okay, I'm free today or tomorrow. And then he comes over with his kids. So I have two, but then one is regular and then the other one isn't regular. So I have just two private lessons now.
Okay, but
it was actually because of the whole COVID. It was because of the whole COVID thing, school shut down. And so a lot of parents are on hold because of the whole COVID situation. But then currently, a few are coming up. That's how come I have two classes going on.
Okay, two questions, Sam. On the period that you had the most skaters, how many students did you had? And the second question right after that would be, how is COVID affecting, other than the number of students, but how is COVID affecting your country?
For how it's affecting the country in the early, when it was at its peak in March, April, May, there was a lockdown where it was looking like the whole world was in a lockdown, and so a lot of schools closed. I wasn't going nowhere. I was just at home. Those were very hard times because I just live on skating. I just live on skate classes. I've never worked regular jobs because regular jobs won't allow me to go skate. So I've never worked regular jobs. So during the whole COVID times, I've been at home. For the first month, and then the second month, that was when the whole country was on lockdown. And then after the lockdown, I started moving around again. And then moving around, this random classes shows up. And then once a while, you go to a class, you go to do a class, and then things started picking up again. But then currently things are picking up. Everything is gradually coming back to normal, with the exception of schools still being closed. And so I'm doing a few other things, like my 2 skate classes I'm doing. And then it's getting to December. With the experience I have from organizing my skate events, I'm organizing a few other events with the recreational center. And so I've been busy doing that. And during the COVID season, when I wasn't doing anything, there were some jobs that were deemed efficient, and so those jobs were still operating. And one of those jobs were dispatch riding, and so I'm pretty good at riding. So I was working as a dispatch in those times when I wasn't skating. And then when I started doing my skate classes again, I had to quit the job to come and do the skate classes, and then had time to do the errands, organize skaters around the city to do the event. So I would go back to work after the next event, which would be next year after March. Then I can get another job. Yeah.
Okay, and tell me, how do your parents now see what you do? Because you said that previously they wouldn't accept what you do, but nowadays they look at it differently. What do you mean by looking at it differently? How do they see it? Do they support you? How do they react?
They sort of, it's not like they support you, but then it's always like you seem to be going and not stopping. And so, well, why not go ahead and let's see? But then you should have a plan B, because it's always like, my mom most of the time is like, you can't do this forever. And so you should have a plan B. So usually that is it. So I've had a plan B. I've discussed my plan B with my family, and then they are okay with my plan B. So it's like I'm going in between the two. But then skating is my passion, and so I spend most of my time skating, and then less time working on my plan B, because it's like I see skating is going to work for me. It's going to work for me. That's what like I've seen from day one since I started. I don't know how, but then the passion has always been there. It's like this thing will work. It will work somewhere. I don't know how, but then it will work. So initially, that's how it's always been. That I don't know where that idea is from, but from the very first time I put on skating, getting the attention of the kids, being able to teach them, so the kids being able to tell their parents they are going to skate, and then they are with me. For their parents to leave them to come skate, knowing they are with me. I just know this thing will work some way, somehow, because it's picking up. Even though it's slow, but then it's picking up. Where I was when I started skating, I'm no longer there. It's picking up. And so I just know some way, somehow it will work. But then my family is like, you can do this forever. And so, okay, why not just get a plan B so I can be at peace with my family? Because, family is very important. And then when I have the plan B, they are at peace with my plan B. I'm also at peace, and then I can skate. Because sometimes, the pressure is too much. And then, growing up here is hard. The expectations growing up being a young man. So it's hard. And sometimes it really hits me deep. So it's like, okay, why not let me get my plan B so I can be at peace with my family and then focus on my skating. So I've been doing that lately, both sides.
Okay.
And it's working.
The thing is,
but then
for a lot of people from other parts of the world, they have no idea how important in the African culture the family is important. I don't know, as I said before, I don't
Yeah.
know enough about Ghana, but the experience that I have from living in one African country for 5 years and visiting very regularly another country, I've seen that the family, it's something that it's really a priority, which for some people it's something that fits really well. For some other, and I'm not talking about Africans, I'm talking about from people from other parts of the world, when they try to live there or when they try to be in that type of culture, for some people it's harder. I'm going to make you one question still related to the same, and that is, how important is the studies in Africa? I'm asking you that because in most of the parts of the world, like in a lot of places in the whole world, studies used to be the most important thing. But with time,
Yeah.
I guess reality has been proving that you don't always need to study something to be good at doing something. Basically, going to a university, and this is someone who studied. I went to university for 5 years to study sports science, but the truth is, what I do, I don't really use it. I don't really use my studies, and more and more people that focus on something since a very early age ends up being better than someone that studies for 5 years and learn the same as 30.
Up my time, man. 1 hour.
So basically, the question is, did you study? Or if you didn't study, how do your parents deal with it?
Yeah, you know, I studied. I studied till high school, senior high school. Yeah. I came out of high school in 2016. I studied science. I studied science, general science in high school, because growing up, like I said, growing up here is very tough. And so growing up, I was very hard. I was getting into deviant behaviors. And so I was sent to a boarding school. And then it was at the boarding school I straightened up a little bit. So I came back focused on school, like my parents wanted it. So I was good. That's how come I ended up doing science, because where I come from, brilliant students are always associated with science, and then the science, the mathematics, and the rest. So I did science in senior high school. So
okay,
it was in senior high school in my second year that I started listening to a lot of I would say motivational or inspirational talks, and then looking a lot into the outside world, because I started skating when I was in senior high school in my second year. So skating, and then having, at the time I had just one friend globally. I had just one friend, and that is Nick. If you are watching, big shout out to Nick Petropoulos. He lives in Melbourne, Australia. So I had just one friend. We got talking a lot. Nick would be teaching me stuff about how things work outside in Australia. So listening to Nick, and Nick is older. Nick is 40 years old. He would be 40, 41. And so obviously he's got more life experience. So Nick would be teaching me stuff. So listening to Nick, listening to motivational skating, reading a lot on other things, I realized from my second year that no, if there is more, I can do more than just going through school and having a degree and just the regular education. So when I got to my final year, in my mind I was like, okay, since I'm skating, I already know what I'm going to do. When I'm done, I won't go to college. So
okay,
That was my plan. I didn't tell anybody I wouldn't go to college. So after school, when we were writing our final year exams, I was working whilst I was writing my final year exams because I knew after here it's just me and the world, you know. I'm not going back to school. So I had to be doing something. So in my final year, I was working. And then, yeah, I was working. So after 1 year, I was still home. My parents be like, where are your results? When are you going back to school? You know, and I would usually not mind. I wouldn't say anything. So the second year of being home, it became like, okay, since you've been home for 2 years, and then we're looking at the way you move around, we've seen you don't want to go to school. So now that you don't want to go to college, what do you want to do? I'm like, okay, I can't tell my mom I want to skate. She wouldn't listen to it. No parent will hear that for you in Africa here. And so I'm like, okay, let me just keep it going a while. So I kept it going. So in the third year when I was home, that was in 2019, I had a friend who was working at the barbering shop. So I used to go spend time with him at the barbering shop. And then I'm like, okay, I can't just waste time here. Why not I learn it? So I've been learning that. And before I was talking about the plan B. The plan B is the barbering shop. So
Okay.
I'm trying to get my own barbering shop built, which is one of those businesses that are really cool here that a lot of people are getting into. And my family really understands that one well because they've seen it being done. They've seen it work. And so now we settled on that part. It's just the skating
let me
aspect
interrupt.
that they haven't seen. Yeah.
Let me interrupt. So you want to open a barber shop, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so
and
let's make a trade. Let's make a trade. Let's make a trade. So I sent you 2 pairs of skates, one adult pair of skates, one kid's pair of skates, and 4 Wheelatic shirts and 6 skate hooks, and I get some beard work when I go to Ghana.
Yeah.
How does that sound?
And then I don't really get it. I don't really get it.
So basically I send you
stuff. Yeah.
I send you 2 pairs of skates, 4 shirts, 6 skate carriers, and one day when I go to carrier, you get to do my beard. It's a trade.
Yeah.
Is that okay for you?
Yeah. Yeah, it's okay for me. It's okay for me, and I'll be if I don't know if you are trying to say if I get to be in your place one day, if that is what you mean. Is that what you mean?
No. What I mean right now is like, you have a plan B, and you say that what I mean right now, give me a second because this is not working for me. Okay, so you said that you've been studying or trying to work on your plan B, and your plan B would be to have a barber shop. If you look at me, you see that I need some barber work. So what I'm trying to say here is that I'll send you skates right now.
I can get you done. I can get you done really good.
No, it's a trade. Obviously, what I'm trying to we obviously had the plan already to send you some stuff, and Look, someone is saying deal accepted. Basically, me and Janice were talking about sending you some stuff. We want to send you like 2 pairs of skates, 1 pair of adult skates. Let me see if I have one. The colorful ones, the Micro MT Plus. I might have 1 pair here. Something like this.
Okay.
We'll send you something like. We'll also send you a pair. We will send you 1 or 2 pairs of kids skates for your skate lessons. We will also send you some shirts. I'm looking at your shirt, and we'll talk about it in a second, which is very cool. And we'll send you also some skate carriers. But the whole the whole we would also like to send you some wheels, because I have a lot of wheels laying around. So I might need to just find out a good way to organize the shipping, because that might be the hardest part, to ship it there, especially in these COVID times. We had like an order today to Brunei, and we've been asked also for 500 euros to ship to Brunei. So that might be the hardest part. So we'll try to organize a way to ship you the stuff, but we will be in contact with you. But my main goal with these is also to motivate more people that are watching these either live or to people that watch it later. They just listen to this. I'm leaving. Let me go back on top just to put this comment back here again.
We have 52 people watching.
Yeah, we have 56 now, and I did post this comment before. Let's make the miracle happen, because you were saying to get the skates is almost a miracle. Someone to offer you skates or to send you skates for the skate school. So I left the email, your email, on the description of this video. So whoever is watching this, if they want to support you, if they want to support your project, if they want to support your skate school, your way of living, your passion, well, they can always contact you through this email. I'm pretty sure you're going to be able to give them your address, and then you can organize a way to get it. I'm going to be totally honest with you. I have no idea how it's going to work with customs, to clear customs and all that. But there is something that whoever is willing to send you something will organize it with you, just like we will organize it with you. Sam, we've been talking for 1 hour and 3 minutes. We've been speaking about the struggles, about how you started skating, but we didn't speak about something which is very important. You spoke about that's good. We're gonna go there in a second. We're gonna get to your event in a second. We're gonna leave that for last. But before speaking about your event, I want to ask you about your biggest inspirations in skating. When you skate, who do you think of? Is it another skaters? Is it just other influential people? Who are your biggest influences in skating? I know that you started, as you said, you used to be more of an urban skater, and now you try to skate a little bit more aggressive skates.
I actually started slalom skating. I actually started skating slaloms.
Okay. So who are your biggest influences at the moment?
Biggest influences at the moment. I would say Nick Lomax, and then Nick, Danny Aldridge from Rollerblade, Nicola Torelli is there. There's a lot. I can mention all the names, but those I keep up with regularly. That's Lomax, Danny Aldridge, Torelli. I watch Charlie Hastings too. I watch you, of course, Ricardo Lino. I watch a lot. But most of the time I watch Nick, Danny, Torelli, and then Charlie Hastings because of the flips and all. Yeah. Most of the time. And then I watch Eugene Enin as well. Yeah.
And how is that working for you? Don't you get a little bit messed up when you see?
How is that working for me?
What I'm saying,
I get so messed up.
No, it's not even that. What I'm saying is that how does it work for an urban skater that started like aggressive skating a couple months ago to look at Oiganenin, because what he does on those skates is like out of this world. So that's why I'm asking, how is it working for you? Is it messing up too much with your brain?
It's crazy. It's messing up. and the thing is, uh, and the reason why I watch so many people is also because I'm not trying to compete. I'm not trying to compete. You know, I just pick from here, pick from here, pick from here, try to put them together, because you realize if you watch my skating, I do a few grinds these days. I do the mini ramp. I do free skating a little bit. I do gaps as well. So I just sort of pick from here, you know, just enjoying my ride kind of thing. I don't have a specific, it's not like I'm doing aggressive skating, I'm doing free ride. No. I just sort of, I'm everywhere.
Okay.
So
You
just trying
posted
to,
something the other
you know,
day. You posted something the other day that I really enjoyed. Let me try to find out if I can see it again. I think it's here, but I can't see the description that you had, because it was very awesome.
well,
But it
what
doesn't
is
allow
it
me
about?
to see
Let
it.
me,
It's this image. Let me show you. Let me bring it here. So this image, I love the description, but I cannot see the description because I'm using a browser that doesn't show me the browser, doesn't show me the description. But
yeah,
I really enjoyed it. You want to speak about it?
Anyone who can see the description, read it for me.
Anyway,
It
let me
was
just
something
interrupt
about
this.
whoever is having the most fun is winning. Whoever is having the most fun is winning on this image. Yeah.
Yes.
On this image.
Let me
yeah.
try.
Who?
Yes, but I
Who's
can't.
got the
I can't
best
see
tricks
it.
doesn't
It
matter.
doesn't.
Yeah. I remember now. I remember now.
Exactly.
Yeah. The
Exactly that
description is,
one.
who's got the best tricks doesn't matter. Whoever is having the most fun is winning.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I keep on saying.
Yeah. Where did that come from? I think I picked that from on a skateboard picture. It was on a skateboard picture that I saw on Facebook randomly. It was long ago. It was long ago I saw
And it
that
really
thing.
clicked. It
But
really
then
clicked on your head.
I didn't know how to. It was something that wasn't the exact statement, but it was something about whoever is having the most fun is winning. It was, I think there were two guys playing a game of skate or something, and one was being too serious and all, and the other one was just goofing around. It was something like that. So it's been long. So that day when I wanted to post that picture, I didn't know what to, and then I remembered, okay, there was something like that. So I just said, why not I put that? So that was the best way. That was the best way I could frame it. Who's got the best tricks doesn't matter, because I saw it in a game of skate. You know, the skateboarders do it. So that was how I got that thing. That was how I got it. Who's got the most fun is winning.
Okay, so now let me just interrupt you. Oh, look, we got Rui watching this live. Awesome. And I was actually saying that we were going to speak about that shirt. So can you show us the shirt, please?
That's yeah, here's the shirt. Yeah.
Boom.
Rolling under influence. Yeah, rolling under influence.
So here's the thing. A lot of times, this happened a couple of times, inclusive. I got a message the other day from one of the skaters that used to be, and it's probably still is, one of the biggest influences of all the time. His name is Robert Guerrero. And Robert Guerrero sent me a message saying, what's that rainbow shirt that I saw you and a lot of other skaters using? So for everyone that ever saw like a shirt with a rainbow, a t-shirt with a rainbow, it's from Rui. Rui, rolling under influence. That's his brand. And Rui is a skater he's actually Portuguese. He grew up in, what's the name of that? I don't want to say Luxembourg, but he's been living in Barcelona. I don't know, maybe probably for the last 15 years. So you need to watch his brand. Let's give it a look on Instagram. Let me go for a look for Rui rolling under influence. So just so that people can see exactly what we're talking about. Meanwhile, while we're doing this, let's just tell everyone, if anyone has any question for Sam, please drop the questions here on the comments and we will make those questions to Sam. Meanwhile, we're going to check Rui Instagram account and let's see if we find. You might have seen also this logo. That's Rui doing a slide. There's also a slide experts group on Facebook, which is run by, I think Rui is one of the guys. Now the t-shirt that we were talking about, let's try to find out what t-shirt was. I'm pretty sure it's going to be here. Yeah. No, that's Nicola Torelli. He has a sick team. You can see Note, Dustin Werbaski. Let's see where the rainbow shirt is. I'm pretty sure it's here.
Down there.
Yeah, we're gonna need to find it. Let's see that rainbow. I love this. Oh, it's there. Look at this. Sons of Helen Key.
Yeah,
this is the rainbow shirt we were talking about.
That one. Yes.
And there's another one.
There's a lot of cool stuff.
Okay, Rui is actually saying that on that logo is not sliding, is actually just carving. Okay, so let's go back to the conversation. We got some questions here. So, hey Sam, do you guys have any skaters there in Ghana? I'm going to make this question. I'm going to get a little bit more juice into this question, and I'm going to ask you, at the moment, how many skaters do you think you have in Ghana?
Okay, how many skaters do we have in Ghana? We would have close to 500. No, that's too big. We would have close to 400, 350, 400 skaters.
And those 350, 400 skaters, are they skating regularly?
We would have 400.
Like people that skate.
They are not skating. They are not skating regularly. They are not skating regularly. That is, if we would count 350, it's when we look at all the regions and all the skate spots in the city, and then trying to pinpoint everyone one after the other. We would count over 300. We would count over 300. But then regularly, we have a very few. Regularly, there's a very few, not more than 50. Regularly, there's few people skating, not more than 50. Yeah, even 50 is too big of a number. No. Regularly, there's a very few people. And out of, if you take 50 that skate regularly, that is on every weekend. If you take 15, those that are very active on social media won't be more than 10.
Okay.
So that's also
social media. Not everyone
really see. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what. But the thing is, not everyone really likes social media, and
not
for me. I live with this every day, but for a lot of people, they just never do it. And I keep saying the same. For a long time, I always said that there were so many good skaters out there that were never seen. And that's nowadays it's easier to see some skaters. Imagine, I used to skate for USD in the early 2000s, and I did travel a lot especially on that time being. I did saw amazing skaters, amazing local skaters from places that I went that I never, ever, ever would see in videos, because there was no videographer there was no photographer, or even if there would be any videographer or any photographer, because no one knew those names, they wouldn't publish it on a magazine, or they wouldn't publish it on a video or anything like that, because it was just it's just another kid. That's how they used to be seen. Nowadays, with social media, a lot of people can see a lot of these people, but there are also a lot of them that just don't want to be seen. They just skate because they love it. It's nothing to do with showing their skating to anyone. So it's a bit of a, I respect people that
where
don't.
I come from, everybody wants to be seen.
Okay, but it's not everywhere, huh? It's some people just really, I do know a couple of people that don't really care, but in general, in 2020, a lot of people is active on the social media. They post their skating clips and all that stuff, but not everyone from the people that I know. Now, Sam, we're getting to an end, and I gotta make you this question. Explain us about your event. What's about to happen in Ghana? What have you been working on?
Okay, so my skate event is basically to keep the whole community alive. Initially, we have just one skate event in Ghana here, and it's organized by a food, would I say food company, or yeah, and it's organized by this company. They do chocolate drinks. And so once a year they organize those events, but then it's not regular. And the way those events are done, there is a little bit of another thing on its own. So the event is done all right, yeah, but then we don't really have that vibe that comes in when you have an event, you have a skating event that is done by skaters. Like I always use Winter Clash as an example. That is an event for skaters done by skaters. So we have one event here, which is organized by a food company, and it's not so regular. And so having that event done once a year, and it's not being regular, we have a lot of people falling back because they are like, we go train. At the end of the day, we do nothing. It's like training to do nothing. So, okay, if you people are training and you want to do something, why not? I've seen a few events being done. Initially, it wasn't even a big event. It was just, okay, why not? Let me bring this group here, put them together, see what they can do. So when I started planning it like that, I started talking to my friend in Australia. I started talking to Nick a lot. And then Nick says, if you mount canopies and you put in sound system, it makes the whole thing look bigger, even though you have just 2 teams. That would be like a total of 10 skaters. If you bring sound system and you mount canopies, it makes the whole thing look big. So, okay, I listened to Nick, and then I did my first event. My first event, I didn't even have a total of 20 skaters. There were, I think, 12 skaters or so at the very first event. And then it was done. The crowd came in. We had a little bit of a crowd. That's like, we had, I think, 100 people, 100 plus people standing under the canopies. And then the event was about 12, 15 skaters. After that event, if you look on my DS Roller Sports Academy, I have a Skate of the Nation 2019. If you look into the event pictures, you realize I have just pictures. I don't have videos. I don't have videos because on that event, I actually hired photography for that event. And then, unfortunately for me, I couldn't pay the photography team. And so they just gave me the pictures, like, okay, you take the pictures. For the videos, we won't give you. And so they held back on the videos. The following year, when after the first event was done, I was like, okay, this event was done, it got some crowd. And how I funded the first event was by I sent some t-shirts over to a friend in London. I have this friend in London. She's a female, Sarah. Big ups to Sarah if you're watching. She's from Littlehampton. She also liked my skating videos or something like that. We started talking and then I chipped in the event thing. I was like, okay, I'm having an event and, you know, the best way I know to raise money for my events is by selling the t-shirts. And with the shirts I sell here, you know, you have to sell it at a price everybody can buy. So you actually not make any profits on selling them. And then I thought, okay, if I able to send the shirt into Europe and somebody buys one shirt for 20 pounds, when I convert the money into my currency, that's a lot of money. So why not I send 5 to my friend in London.
In London.
She shares to her friends and then she can give me like £100. So that £100 got me my first event. It paid for canopies, it paid for sound, and then it paid transportation for a few of the boys I took from the neighborhood there. But then it wasn't enough to pay for everything. So in the second year, since I had the same plan, in the second year, I just knew, okay, I would have to send t-shirts again. So in the second year, I had this friend again. It's actually next friend. My friend in Australia also had another friend in Norway. So he connected me. And then I sent some t-shirts over to Norway. In the second year, I equally got some money for that event. That money paid for the canopy and then the sound system. But it couldn't pay for photography and it couldn't pay for food. For the food, the skaters who were responsible, a few of the older skaters I know around who were at the first event, we just put monies together and then we bought drinks and biscuits. We bought snacks and then we shared to everyone who was present at the event. And then we also give out medals. We gave out medals and trophies on the first event and on the second event because it means a lot to the skates. And it keeps them hyped, you know, like, yay, mom, I won a gold medal at this event. So the parents are like, okay, you came home with a medal, something is going on, you can go and skate. So in a way, the events are just to keep the whole community alive. And it's been going on 2019, 2020 this year. The next one is next year. And usually with the event, because a lot of money goes into the event, so the event has to be planned like 6 months or even 5 months away so that I can have enough time to sell all the t-shirts I have to sell and then to raise enough money to take care of the event. Because every year it's getting bigger.
Can I stop you now? I'm going to stop you to teach you something which you are going to take a lot of advantage. So basically, you need to ship the shirts. How much do you pay for shipping a shirt from Ghana to London?
I usually do through DHL, and DHL deals with the weight and then the destination. So I think it's cheaper with Europe, and then it's a little more expensive with US, and then it's a little more expensive again with the Asian countries, and then it's very expensive with Australia.
Okay, and what if you
based on the weight and then the destination? But then
what if you, let me show you something. Can I show you something?
But then I'm able to send the shirt.
Let me show you something.
Yeah.
It's obviously not the same as you making the shirts, but for someone like you that it's trying to create something for an event, let me show you something. Go check this website. This website, it's called Teespring. And what is this? So this is a website where you can just go and you can submit your own logo. And people from all over the world, they can buy it. This website ships it for you, and you will get the profit. That profit can be used for your event. So instead of you needing to deal with producing the shirts, shipping the shirts to London, and then organizing a way for you to get your money back, you can do it through this website. There's a lot of creators that are using it. You will see Law from Black to Blading, me. You will see a lot more people, like even the guys from the roller, like the people from the roller skates, Moxie. So this is something that can help you. And there's a lot other ways for you to even, it doesn't matter if you are in Ghana, if you are in Kenya, if you are in South Africa, in Angola, in Portugal, in China. There are a couple of different ways for you to make these type of things work. So I'm sorry that I interrupt you, but it was just be something that you could think of as a way for you to optimize your time and to make that event really happen and be successful.
Yeah. Yeah. So
okay. Yeah, keep
I've
going
done
if
2
you want to keep
events.
going.
The next one that is coming up, the next one that is coming up is going to be bigger, because in the first year we've had a smaller number of skaters. The next year it has grown a little, and the next year is going to grow a little more. And in the next year, I'm doing it at a different part of the country that is going all the way towards the north. Now, a lot of people ask, why all the way there? You know, it's easier to organize people who are already organized, like in a way. When you get a group of 30 skaters, it's easier to put them together because they are already a group. So I found this guy. His name is Abraham. He's all the way up there. He's all the way up there, and he's got a very strong group and very organized. Like nobody in the southern part of the country, like in Accra, nobody knew there were people all the way up there who skate. So I met this guy on Facebook. We got talking. He showed me his crew and all. And I was like, okay, you have a good number of people. I have events I do every year. Why not I bring my event up there to your place? Since my event is getting a lot of attention, I bring it there. You get a lot of attention on your side. We get a lot of attention coming in. And so that's how come the next event is going there. And it's going to be very big. That's how you grow. You know, so just dealing with people that are already doing something, because you have a lot of other skaters doing a lot in other parts of the country. So like we have Abraham, who is all the way up there, and then we have this other guy in Kumasi also doing his own. And then in Accra, where I live, we love to skate GH also doing their own. So we have small groups. So organizing these events is bringing all these small groups together. And I feel if we are able to bring everyone together and we have like events going on, you know, like every 3 months there's a skate event going on, we get a lot of people looking down into Africa. We have a lot of people looking into the skate scene. And then
having regular events and having
efforts, you know, once we are putting in the efforts, it's easier. Yeah. So once the events are going on and then everyone is formed and there's more people skating, it's easier to get other brands to come in. Because from my best of knowledge, I understand the brands only go where their market is. And so if we are able to get the market, or if you're able to create the market for it, you have a lot of brands looking here. Like the way we have skate brands looking into Nigeria now, because of the work Daniel is doing in Nigeria. So we have a few brands looking there. And over here, nobody's ready to do it. So if I don't do it, I mean, we will be waiting forever. And we've been waiting forever and nobody's doing it. So somebody has to do it. And since, you know, I'm passionate about skating, I just can't sit back and skate alone. When I stop skating, the sport dies. No, I have to make sure it lives on. So when I stop, other people carry on. So that's been the whole motivation. So the events is just to keep the whole community alive. and keep
Sam,
the
I'm gonna tell you
and keep
something.
the kids motivated, keep everything going.
I'm gonna tell you something, Sam. Portugal obviously has nothing to do with an African country like Ghana, but Portugal 10 years ago or 20 years ago also had nothing to do with the USA or with France or even with Spain. So for me, it was kind of like something that people would have it as a standard. It's impossible. It's impossible for a Portuguese skater to ever be a professional skater or for a Portuguese skater to ever live from skating. Well, it's not that it's impossible. It hasn't been done.
Yeah,
And
I
then
heard you
there's a
say that on Jump Street.
and then there's a word that you always say, which is yet. It hasn't been done yet. That does not mean that it's not possible.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
it's up to what you want, to your passion, to your will, to
it
the
won't be
amount
done.
of effort you put into something. It can be done. And if it's not being done by the others, it's been done by you. A very good example of that will be John Julio. And I'm bringing something that has nothing to do with me, which is John wanted to see a brand doing something.
Yeah,
What
yeah,
he
John
wanted to
Julio.
see wasn't being done. You worked for others, it wasn't being done. What did he do? He went up and did it himself. And this I'm giving you two completely different examples from two
Yeah,
completely different
yeah,
things. And you also gave a very good example, which was Daniel from Lagos. So everything is possible if you put the
yeah,
right amount of passion and effort into it. Now, let me tell you something let me make you a question which someone made here, and it's important for us to also bring the people that are watching into this conversation because we want more people watching. So before we even make this conversation, we're going to before I even make you this question, I'm going to ask everyone watching live to drop their questions on the comments right now so that we can make you those questions. And someone is asking, did you ever consider to do downhill skating?
yeah. I've tried downhill skating because I saw a lot of people in Mexico and in Brazil try it. I've seen you try it too. Well, where I live, there isn't so many downhills. If you go on my Instagram, you will see I've tried a few downhills, which are not the best actually, but then those are what we got here. So I've tried that. And it's risky. Here the risk factor is also another thing. Over here, you don't have so many tries at a trick. Okay. This place in Ghana here, you don't have so many tries at a trick, especially at a new trick, like the backflip I do. You don't have so many tries. And so there are certain things or there are certain risks we don't take. On the downhill, you can get injured pretty bad. And when you get injured that way, it's not good for the whole thing. You get injured, a lot of people draw back. And so there are certain risks we refuse to take.
Yeah.
So I have a few downhill videos, like one or two. I did one downhill in fakie, I did one straightforward. But then those are just on the safer side. You don't want to do anything that will look too risky, that would push people back. Because when I get hurt, I can say I'm becoming big, or I'm gaining some recognition. And if I do anything that will get me hurt and I can't continue, a lot of people will draw back because, somebody got hurt. They are looking up to this person, they got hurt and they are not skating anymore. So they also go back. So for now, I'm just trying to, even though I'm doing things, but I'm also taking it safe.
Yeah, I get it. I fully understand what you're saying. I saw the same happening in Angola.
Yeah,
In
so
Angola, people used to hold on the cars and skitch very often, and they actually created more problems with the skitching because there were a couple of accidents, including there was a kid that died. I never met or anything like that, but I know of that accident and that type of actions, which I'm no one to judge that, but those type of actions actually made the media spoke very bad things about skating, like on the radio and stuff like that. So if you're trying to to bring the sport up. Obviously,
Yeah.
if you're trying to do what you think it's the best, which it's your
hard.
opinion, of course. There's ways to do downhill no matter what. There will always be ways, but of course I also don't know the roads or anything like that. I'm just saying from what I know, the places that I know. But I think we're coming
Yeah.
to an end. Sam, just to everyone watching this, I'm going to say it again. I'm dropping Sam's email on the first lines on the description of this video. So if anyone wants to support his event or somehow help his skating school, or if you have any skates laying around, or if you know of any good deal that you can somehow support his project, I guess after listening to more than 90 minutes about Sam, it's because you saw something special in this human right here. And I'm pretty sure you right now want to support him. So if you want to support him, the email to contact Sam is on the top of this video. Let's just see if we have. Let me just check. I was just checking if we have any other. We actually have Abraham, your friend Abraham. He's one of the guys in the comments. He just dropped us a comment. Hey,
Yeah,
I'm
we have.
Abraham from the. He's
Yeah,
watching it.
yeah. I've
So
seen him. Yeah.
that's very cool. So Sam, thank you so very much for this time, and I hope that this somehow helped you in a way. For me, I love to do this type of things. I love to talk about skating, and especially when it's passionate people about you. I also like to speak about skating when people are not that passionate and try to somehow convert them, but it's a challenge. But I guess that is it. Do you have any last words that you want to say?
Yeah. I just want to say a very big thank you to everyone that is supporting the rollerblading scene in Africa in one way or the other. It's not easy. It costs them money to support us, but then, I always say our sports is one where you can drop by anywhere in the world and you don't know anyone, but then you pull up to a skate park and you are home, and it's true, because everyone supporting us, we've never met. They just,
Yeah.
in a way, love what we do, and then they support us. And, a very big thank you to everyone supporting the rollerblading scene in Africa. Myself, the special people, I've got special people in my life that have really helped me on my rollerblading journey. Like my friend Nick, I spoke of in Australia. He's really helped me a lot. He's like my go-to person, everything rollerblading. He's always there to talk. He's always there to listen. He will take time off work to teach me stuff, And then there's this other friend, Deborah, who helped me with the other article I showed you today, the other day. And then a few other people that are supporting, a lot of us. And then I know Dem Skates is supporting the scene in Nigeria very well. Big ups to Dem Skates, John Julio. Yeah, just everyone trying to support us,
Okay, man.
Because
Thank you.
it takes some sort of motivation to do what we do here. Yeah,
It is true.
It's really hard doing what we do.
It
here.
is.
And so a very
But
big thank you to everyone that's trying to support us in one way or the other.
You said about something which I couldn't agree more when you said that you go to a skate park and you feel at home. But I would say that not just about the skate park, but about putting a pair of skates. It doesn't matter where you go in the world. It's something that makes you feel comfortable, and by being comfortable,
it doesn't matter.
It's kind of like it makes you feel so comfortable that when I put my skates on, I kind of feel able to speak to anyone. And it was actually interesting to see this during this whole conversation, because when we started this conversation, Sam, you were nervous, and you told me before, you sent me a message saying, I'm getting a little bit nervous. When we started, you were a little bit nervous, and once we started speaking about skating,
I'm nervous because
No, but it just eased out. Like you
Yeah, it
relax
gets
so much
comfortable.
that.
Yeah,
So that's
yeah,
skating.
it gets
That's even
comfortable.
if the skates are not.
I was very nervous. I was very.
All good, man. You have people from all over the world. Let's just finish
I was
this
very
by
nervous.
asking. Let's just finish this by telling everyone at the moment to drop us a comment right now on these messages on the side, and just let us know where you're watching from, please. We just got Spencer saying hello from Texas, so please let us know where you guys watching these. Yeah, we have someone watching from Ghana, from Kumai.
And
Kumasi.
one thing. Yeah, Kumasi. Yeah, there is this guy there who is also doing very well for the skate scene there. He's also going to be part of my skate event. He runs this Instagram skating page at White Stars. You know, he goes by Osinke popularly, but he's on Instagram as White Stars Skating Club. He's also doing well in Kumasi. And then we have Abraham in the north. And then we have my friend who runs We Love to Skate. His name is Montana. He's also very good.
Okay.
You know, so we have a few skaters in various parts of the country trying their best.
Oh,
yeah.
Awesome.
It's
You have people from all over the world watching this.
I just happen to have some. Yeah. And that's what made me very nervous. Because when, you know, if anyone is skating here, they obviously know who Ricardo Lino is. And like, you know, getting a call from Ricardo Lino, it's like speaking to the president. And
oh man, come on,
very,
man.
very nervous. Because, you know, you're one of the big people in the industry.
I'm the exact same as you.
I was very nervous, you know.
Sam, I'm the exact same as you. I'm someone who loves this thing way too much.
Yeah, I get, even before we got on here, I spoke to a few friends. I spoke to Miguel. He runs a skate crew in Lisbon. Miguel said, "Oh, Lino is cool." I spoke to Nick. Nick says the same thing. I spoke to a few other people. They were like, "Oh, just be free." Rue also said the same thing. Just be free, you know. But I was still nervous. But getting along, I'm fine.
Nah, man, it's all good. I guess I know all these guys. We're all for the same. No, you need to say the biggest thank to this person, which is now making fun of me. That is Janice. She is watching this. It's right now Janice. 11:45.
I know.
And she's sending you a message. Love you, Sam.
No, because if it wasn't for her,
okay.
I would never. If it wasn't for her, I would never have gotten your attention. If it wasn't for her,
as I told you in the beginning of this, I sometimes just get lost in a lot of stuff, and I'm really sorry if I know that sometimes people try to talk to me, and I am sometimes not the most communicative person, but it is not because I want to. It's just because I live. I said it before. I would need maybe 28-hour days, but I still didn't find a way. So with that being said, thank you so much for everyone that supports me. I hope people understand what I'm trying to do here. This is my passion, and I'm trying to put a lot more people with the same passion together, because together we are a lot stronger. So thank you so much, Sam. We will be in contact to everyone who watched it live. Well, thank you very much for staying with us. It's been like 1 hour and 45 minutes. It's been long, but it went very, very fast. Thank you so much, Sam, and we're out. Cheers, man. Bye-bye. Thank you, everyone.